Taurus, greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are most welcome. We are going to do a hopes, fears, and reality spread, and we're going to get right on into... Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Taurus. Being a tarot card reader and saying that like makes it sound like you and Danger Girl. That's not what it is, but there's definitely some anxiety on your end. Something real, something substantial. Like, alright, we'll start from the beginning. Let's start with the hopes where I usually start. Strategy and legacy. Okay? You are hoping to manage your resources because you have something to lose. You know, things have been good for a while. They've been going good for a while, but there's turbulence. There's something on the horizon. There's a change in the air and you can feel it. So what you're doing now is you're taking stock of your resources. Now your resources can be about actual wealth. You know, it could just be finances. It could also be health. Your mental health. Your physical health. It can also be about time management, right? Because time management is a resource. Also, as a subset of time management, who you spend your time with is a resource. There are people who you spend your time with who naturally elevate you, who help you. Then there are other people that you spend your time with that drain you, that take from you, right? So you are hoping to manage your resources to the best of your ability. You want to keep those positive people in your life. You want good physical health, good mental health. You want finances to be good. You're hyper-focusing on strategizing these things because you're hoping this will all work out in the end. Here's where I said, oh shit. There's a fear, there's an anxiety because a conflict has quailed. I know that sounds strange. I know it sounds strange to say that you have an anxiety because a conflict is no longer there, but there's something to be said for that, because if somebody's willing to fight with you, they still care. Right? If somebody's fighting and pushing and pulling and this and that or whatever, if you're trying to make something work, if you're trying to find a compromise, whatever the case may be, that shows some sort of emotional hold that you have on that person. But when that fighting goes quiet, that person disappears. They ghost. Or maybe they're right in front of your face. They just aren't engaging like they used to. Well, that's the kind of fear that you have. Well, if you're superstitious or into omens, an alarm just went off when I said that. So it could be that you didn't even realize this was a problem until now. Sorry if that's the case. But yeah, there's something alarming to the fact. We'll put it that way. There's something alarming to the fact that the other person isn't putting in the effort and passion. So this could be about a personal relationship, a friend, a family member, a romantic partner. It could also be about vocation. It could be that somebody just wrote you off and there's no growth or no new project or no upward movement. You're just, well, there you are. You know? The reality of this situation is it's not 100% up to you. No amount of effort. There is no right recipe. I guess that's what I'm going for here. There is no right recipe to balance this out and create something better than the sum of its parts. What you have to do right now is you have to take time and you have to reflect. You see, the Four of Swords is about contemplation, but it's also looking at the past actions of yourself or others and really analyzing things that happened and how you got there. It's about being grateful for the things that you still have and understanding the things that you lost. It's about lessons learned. Now is the time, instead of taking action and trying to force something to be what you think it should be, now is the time to go back and look at the situation of a whole and look at the lessons, the more difficult lessons that you learned in your lifetime. Take those grains of wisdom and look at this situation through the filters of a wise person, a wiser version of yourself, not an emotional version of yourself. Now is not the time to get caught up in your feels and play with all this water energy. Now is the time to really contemplate the cerebral portion of your life. What makes sense? What is logical? Because that's what you're not doing. You're getting all caught up in the emotions and the resources, and you're emotionally attached to the resources in this relationship. But is it logical? Does the relationship still make sense? Now, I'm not saying the relationship has to end, but there are things that have to change. Relationships go through periods of change. You know, it's good for a while, and then change inevitably has to happen. The trick is, can you and the other person adapt? Or do you grow apart? Your words are steering the ship. Right? So your words and your actions, which can be quite harsh right now based out of anxiety and fear, are actually putting distance between you and this person. See, the Wheel of Fortune is about, the idea that there's always ups and downs, right? And the Wheel of Fortune means, an upright means that you are the actions that you're taking are steering the ship. So the distance that you feel is based on your actions. This other person is reacting to your words. So it's like everything has slowed down to a point, again, of contemplation for these resources. There's change coming, a slow change. And your actions determine the direction in which your resources go. So I'm going to go back to where I was talking about resources here. Resources can be health, wealth, time management. It can also be who you spend your time with. This particular pentacle, this Knight of Pentacles, it changes. This is a change in resource, but it's a slow change. It's not going to unfold quickly. But it's all based on your actions and the directions you choose to go. If you look at this horse, right? He's standing at the edge of a cliff. He's looking. How am I going to get past this obstacle? What resources do I have to get past this? I'm going to pull 2 more cards for you, because I'm getting more questions than answers with the clarification cards, which is the opposite of how it's supposed to work. Oh boy. You have an idea of what would create emotional stability, but you only see it from your point of view. The reality of the situation is you're comfortable in the situation that you're in now and you don't want it to change. But change is upon you whether you like it or not, because you can't continue moving in this direction with this great big canyon in front of you. So you have to come out of this what's the word I'm looking for? You cannot mistake comfort for happiness. And the idea and the thought that you have is if you just stand still, everything will go back to the way it was. But I'm telling you, it can't go back the way it was. It's going to continue to move forward, and there are obstacles. The problem is, you're avoiding an adult conversation. You're avoiding the uncomfortable problem that you have to work through. What you have to do is you have to have a difficult conversation with another person. Sorry, that's my phone. And this person, based on your fears, has already withdrawn. And if it's your actions and your words that are steering the ship, you know that if you don't approach this in just the right way, then you can push this person away. And then you won't have this comfortable seat anymore. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to be poised and hope that things will work themselves out. But no matter what action you take, at some point you have to move, because you can't stand at the edge of this cliff forever. You need to find a way to the other side. Taurus, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. This is a tough one. And unfortunately, my cards don't have the answers. They're only going to leave you with more questions. Perhaps that's what you really needed to hear. I'll see you next week.